There's been much discussion on my videos about whether an electric fence will stop deer from entering your property or not. Now I have an electric fence up because I am putting in a nice large garden, and I have chickens, and I have fruit trees, and most of all, and especially important, is that I have to prevent ticks, because the ticks are attracted to animals. As the animals are passing through the property, the ticks drop off from time to time, and a blood-filled tick will drop off and reproduce, and then other ticks will come out. And I've set up an electric fence to keep the deer out and other creatures. This also will prevent foxes and coyotes from entering the meadow. Now what I have here is 2 strands. I don't know if you'll be able to see the wire. There you can. I have 2 strands of wire to prevent larger animals from coming out. Now later, on the lower rung of the electric fence post, I will run another wire, but I first have to get the ground chopped down low and get any plants from the proximity of the fence so that nothing touches the wire. If anything touches the wire, as you can see this grass blade touching the fence post there, if anything touches the wire, then it's shorted out and is not effective. But back to the reason why I have set up an electric fence around the perimeter of my meadow and why it's effective to keep deer out. Deer are creatures of habit, and they will follow the same path every day. And I happen to have a deer path that was going straight through my meadow and was causing me problems because the deer would come in and graze on the nice juicy grasses and weeds and plants, and then they would browse over and check out my garden and whatever flowers and anything of interest. And in the meantime, ticks were dropping off, and I had a bad tick population out here. Actually, last year, this whole area I could not walk in at all, because every single time I came out, a tick would get on me, at least one. Anyway, these deer had a path right through here, and here's where they would come and go. Every single evening I watched them in groups come right through here and passed right on through the meadow, grazing and browsing, and then they went right through. Let me see if I can see right there. There's a path right through there where they went back through the forest. And you can still sort of see the trail where they went through. Anyway, you have to break the habit of these deer from passing through. And the electric fence, of course, is not very high. It's only waist high on me, but it does the job because not because deer can't get over it. Deer can jump, from what I've heard, 7 to 9 feet high. So this certainly isn't going to stop deer from jumping over. But all it does is causes them to want to go around, because what happens is they'll walk up to it and they'll see the wire. And of course they're going to be curious and they're going to sniff it. And once they sniff it, and if they touch that wire, they're going to get a nice jolt and they're going to run away. Now they're going to remember that wire next time they come around, and they don't know how high this wire goes and how many strands. They just know they got a jolt here. And I put garland up on here, which flashes and shakes in the breeze. You can see it gently blowing in the breeze right now, although there's hardly any breeze. And that makes it even more visible to the deer. And it is a success. I have not had a single deer here in the meadow since I put this up. Not one. I've actually watched the deer come down the hill through this normal path they follow all the time and go outside around the whole meadow and then back to their other path where they used to go on. So I've changed the route of the deer by putting up the electric fence. Now, why this is effective and I've heard some farmers have massive fields and pastures where the deer simply jump over the fence and keep on going. I think the difference is because a massive field or pasture, probably, for one thing, I'm guessing the fence is more visible. And I'm thinking the other thing is that is a really huge area for the deer to have to go around. Whereas this here is not much of a detour for the deer. Just to go around my little meadow. Not much of a detour at all. And this is just my theory, but I think that's why my fence works. And why if you had it, of course, in a field, the deer are just going to go over. But if you don't give them a reason to come into your area and have just a simple electric fence like this, it is effective. I know, because it's working for me. So just a couple strands of wire is going to keep deer out of your yard or meadow, and that's all I can say. It's been working for me. So a simple electric deer fence. Again, the strands of garland really help, I think. And in the night you can see it very well. It really glitters and flashes in the night, and I think that adds to the effectiveness of the fence overall, because deer don't like anything moving like that, and they stay away. So I call it a success.